From the Keith Vincent Kayla Studios in Paterson, New Jersey, Green Hour Media proudly presents Is This Real? Tonight, the ghosts of the Queen Mary. What's going on the Queen Mary? And now your host, JC3.
Wants better sex? And who wants better sex starting now? The best way to get started. And who wants better sex start?
Adam and Eve
the best
is
way to get started
50% off just
who wants better
item.
sex?
But that's not all. When you select your one item, you will also get 3 bonus
But
items.
that's not all.
That includes
When
a
you
gift for him,
a special gift for her, and a gift you'll both like. A
Plus
special gift for
6
her,
free
and a gift
movies.
you'll both like.
Plus for your
6
viewing pleasure
free
and free shipping.
movies.
there is discreet shipping
Plus
as your privacy is priority. Plus 100% free shipping on
Plus
your entire
your privacy
order.
is
Doesn't
Priority.
matter how much you spend
Plus,
or what you
plus
buy. It will all
your
be packaged
privacy
and
is
sent
prior-
discreetly
How much you
for free.
spend.
Don't
Your
wait. Better
privacy
sex
is
is just
prior-
one click away.
That's 50% off
Don't
one
wait.
item. 3
Your privacy
free
is
gifts.
priority.
6
That's 50%
free
off
movies
one
and
item. Free shipping.
3
Bring more pleasure and
free
satisfaction to
movies
your
and
bedroom.
Just
free
go to
shipping.
adamandeve.com and select
Free
any
movies
one item. It
and
could be an adventurous new
just
toy
go to Adam
or
and
anything you desire.
Just enter code question at
Just go
checkout.
to Adam and Eve. Question.
Just enter code question at checkout.
at adamandeve.com.
This exclusive offer is
KON
specific to
at
this
Adam and Eve.
podcast
That's
only.
question.
So be sure at checkout you
KON
punch in the code
at Adam and Eve.
podcast
That's
only. QUESTION code at checkout. This
And get
podcast
your
only. 50% off one item, 10 free gifts, and free shipping. Remember, use code question.
And
Also remember to listen to
use
Is This
code
Real every
question.
Sunday at 8
And
o'clock
be sure
with new episodes
to
starting
listen
July
to
16th.
Is This Real
Remember,
every
everybody,
Sun-
question everything.
July
and put that
16th.
question
Is this real
at the end
every Sunday
of your checkout.
At adamandeve.com.
Every Sunday.
At adamandeve.com.
.com.
adamandeve.com.
Welcome, everybody, to another fantastic episode of Is This Real? Is This Real? Tonight's
the first time I've
episode.
done that.
As you heard Big Joe say at the beginning, we are talking about
Is This
the
Real?
Queen Mary ghost ship. It is a cruise ship.
It was a cruise ship.
Was a cruise ship. I mean, it
We're
still is a
talking
ship. It's floating on
about
water still. The
Yeah,
Queen.
isn't it San Diego?
Yeah, I think it's still in San Diego. So, but yes, in the booth tonight, this is a short booth tonight.
About
Small
ship is
booth.
floating on water. Still.
You have Big Joe. You heard him.
Hello,
Yeah,
everybody.
hello.
Welcome to our program.
You have the
Yes,
Mr.
in the
West
booth
himself.
tonight.
Mr. West is in the building,
Okonbawa.
and I'm JC3, and
Right.
that's
Well,
all we
welcome to our
got
program.
tonight.
That's all, folks.
For the season 11 finale, this is all we have.
You know what? And we're
JC3.
going to go out with a bang because you know what? This is when you put the three
for the
people
We're
gonna
that are in the booth
kamikaze?
right now.
We're not going to kamikaze.
I've
Allie,
been here
this is all we
consistently
have.
from the door, and
That's
now
what
what?
we're
I'm
gonna
going to go
I
with.
know we're not
JC3.
talking about. I know we're talking about a World War II
for the
ship, but we're not going to.
I am not. I am
I've
volunteering
Allie,
to not
this is all we
kamikaze.
have.
I know I said
what?
konbawa, but I'm not doing that.
All right, so the Queen Mary ghost ship. Let's just put it like this. For the Dad, I know you're probably around when it was built, so I'm going to go to
Allie, this is
Eric
all we
over
have.
here. Mr.
what?
West,
and I'm
when,
JC3. Queen Mary ghost ship.
When
Let's-
have you ever heard of the Queen Mary ghost ship?
Right now, it looks like the Titanic.
Allie,
Actually,
This is all we have. It does look like the
You
Titanic.
know what?
Mr. West. It's that type of
Queen Mary ghost ship. Let's
ship
just-
that
luxury liner.
luxury liner.
So,
all right, Allie,
so,
this is all we
so
have.
what makes this thing
You
so
know what?
famous? Did this thing like sink or what the fuck happened?
Well, we're gonna get into it, but let's. Dan, when's the first time you heard about the Queen Mary ghost? Allie,
I
this is all
actually
we
was
have.
watching a show, I guess a couple years ago with Robert Stack, Unsolved Mysteries. I don't know if you guys might be too young for that. I don't know.
When's the first time?
But
you
he used to
heard
have a
about
show where
Mysteries? Allie,
he'd come
this
on.
is
Is it
all
on
we
the
have.
Sci-Fi Channel?
you know what?
Uh,
I think it was on Channel 4 back in the day. I'm talking about like the early
into it,
80s
but
now.
That's
guys
Dan.
were not
When's the
even-
first time you?
I might
You
have.
guys weren't even
Allie,
swimming in your
this is
father's
all we have.
nutsack yet.
His,
but you know what?
Eric's consciousness was somewhere else.
Listen,
into
man.
it, but
You don't
let's-
know where. You don't know my story. You don't know my story. You
You
don't know the
guys
thing.
weren't
You don't know
even
the things
swimming
that
in
I've
your father's
seen.
nutsack
At 28,
yet.
his-
But
Exactly.
Eric's consciousness was.
I'm sorry, you
listen,
could see
man.
everything you want.
You
I don't know,
But
man.
prior to 28 years,
Just to
you
think
weren't
about
here.
this,
You
man.
guys weren't even
We've been
swimming in
through
your father's
9/11, we've been
nutsack
through a
yet.
war, we've been
But
through
Maybe.
Eric,
Few
Eric's
wars,
consciousness
actually.
was
oh,
few wars.
well, you know what? Look, you guys
You
have
don't
seen
know
a
what
A
lot.
I'm talking about.
pandemic.
Inflation.
You
You
were
guys
never
weren't
through a
even swimming in your
pandemic.
father's nutsack yet.
His-
But
Maybe.
Eric's
please
consciousness.
believe me, I was through a pandemic. And I got
don't
half
know
the family in the
my story.
graveyard to prove it. But
All right,
My
you guys weren't even
so
swimming in your.
Wow, went dark real quick.
Eric's
it's a retired
consciousness
ocean
was-
liner.
was-
It was built in 1936.
Family in the
graveyard. It was owned by the Cunard.
You guys
weren't even swimming in your line. Cunard,
What?
whatever.
Eric's
Nard
consciousness
line.
It was Port of Registry was Liverpool, England.
My
You guys
house.
weren't even swimming. The route was Southampton, New York.
What?
Maybe.
Eric's
It was
consciousness
always
was
transatlantic. And family in the graveyard made her maiden voyage on the 27th of May.
My
You guys weren't even swimming in your. And won the blue ribbon that August. She lost the title to SS Normandy in 1937 and recaptured it. You guys weren't even
Well,
swimming
let's
in your.
just talk about what this ship had on it for
Always
its heyday.
transatlantic.
All right.
Yeah.
Exquisite dining room, swimming pools, daily radio.
You guys weren't
broadcasts,
even swimming in
a
your.
kennel for the passenger's dog, a children's nursery, and a hospital. And apparently she was fast. Top speed of 32
You guys
knots.
weren't even swimming in your.
She could travel from New England,
Was that like 15 miles an hour?
32 knots.
I'm not really sure.
No, I think it's more like
you guys weren't even swimming in your.
speed. I don't know what 32
Well,
knots.
32
are.
knots.
But let's just put it like this: she can make it from England to New York in
I
4
think
days.
it's more
like,
I got you right now.
which is pretty fucking fast in my book. You
It's
know,
actually
36 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. So.
That's not that. That's actually quite impressive
pretty
for
fucking
a
fast in
ship
my
that big.
book. Yeah.
Mhm.
36 miles an hour. That's pretty fast. That's pretty fucking fast.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cunard had gone broke during the Great. This is their parent company.
Pretty fucking fast.
Had gone broke during the Great Depression.
36 miles an
And
hour.
White
That's
Star
pretty
Line was still scared.
Cunard had gone broke
by
during
the
the
Titanic and Britannica. Their fates
Pretty
rested
fucking
on
fast.
the Mary.
Book.
Seeing the
36
lucky
miles
day,
an
the
hour. That's
RMS
pretty
Queen
fast.
dominated transatlantic travel, holding. You
Cunard
said the
had
blue
by
ribbon,
the Titanic and
ribbon
Britannica.
from 38
Pretty
to
fucking
52,
fast in my
welcoming
book.
celebrities,
Seeing the
politicians,
lucky
even
day.
miles
royalty.
an hour. That's pretty fast.
At the outbreak of World War II, the famed ocean liner became a military transport ship, hauling between 5,000 and 15,000 soldiers across the world. And that's when things turned dark.
I was gonna say so this is like a really really nice ship. What the fuck makes this thing so spooky?
The world. Let's just put it like this:
Cunard
death aboard the Queen Mary. At least 47 people died on the Queen Mary during her time at sea. A young crew member named John Petter was crushed by a door during emergency drill. It was just a fucking drill. It wasn't even like a real emergency. It was like being like trampled during a fire drill.
Oh my gosh.
In school, you know. Another died after drinking gin that turned out to be cleaning fluid. Trampled during a fire. The rest died of natural causes. That's what the official records say.
Right.
But hundreds of others are said to have died, or at least at the hands of the Queen Mary prior to her retirement.
Natural causes.
In 1939, the ship was drafted to military service. Britain believed her size and speed would keep her safe from German U-boats, and they were right. It's rumored that Adolf Hitler offered $250,000 reward to any submarine captain who could successfully sink her ass. Rumored that. So Adolf was like, "Yes, get him.
I will put a bounty on
Get
the
the
ship.
ship."
I will put a bounty on the ship.
But $250,000 in 1940? Dude, that's like $750 now,
I
isn't it?
will put what year?
19. Well, I mean,
Bounty on the sheet.
1939.
Crew member named John. It's a million at this point.
You think it's $1 million?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
will put 1039 money.
Wow. But the Queen Mary's efficiency came back at a cost. She was pushed to her limit, often cramming 15,000 soldiers into spaces designed for 2,200 passengers. Ooh, that's a lot.
$250,000 in 1939 is worth $5,533,651 and eight cents today. So it's he was placing a pretty hefty
$10 million.
He was offering a pretty hefty bounty for that shift.
Yeah, it got a little crazy because again, you're already you're post the
War.
No, you're post what's the ship that sunk?
Titanic.
You're
Britannica.
ready. You're after the Titanic.
Well, you're almost 20 years after the Titanic.
Well, I mean,
right. So, but then again, don't forget that what happened.
Wasn't not to cut you off. Prior to that, wasn't there like a famous ship
Well,
you're
that
almost
the
20
German
years
U-boats sank that like kind of started a bunch of this shit? Wasn't not to cut you off. It was
which
prior
that
to
was
that. Wasn't there like
I could be wrong,
Lusitania.
but You got to understand
you're
something.
almost 20 years
Hitler needed to be number
wasn't-
one on everything he did, and at the
Prior to
time,
that, wasn't there like a
anything that rivaled his Zeppelins.
Well, you're almost 20 years
after. Anything that rivaled what
Prior to
the
that, wasn't there
Nazis
like a-
were doing was going to be it's going to be stuck in his craw. He didn't want that to happen. So yeah, she's already pushed. They're post the sinking of the Titanic.
Yeah.
So
Well, she was stripped of her fine decor and amenities in order to create more space. Her bright smokestacks were painted navy gray, and her portholes, not potholes, were blackened out and welded shut.
Painted navy
The transformation earned her nickname Gray. Nickname Gray Ghost.
Yeah.
Excuse me again. Jesus Christ! In the summer, soldiers slept shoulder to shoulder above deck, and took turns sleeping in bunks below deck. The lack of airflow made the cabins suffocatingly hot. Some soldiers died from heat exhaustion. Others jumped ship. The Mary was no longer a luxurious cruise ship. It was hell. Legends say staff went half crazy too. One rather gruesome rumor is that galley crew locked the chef in his own oven one night, roasting him alive. One rather gruesome. Get
Nice
the fuck in
people.
the oven.
stacks were painted navy gray.
So you got to think that maybe the thing was cursed at some point because a lot of crazy shit.
Though there are no records of the
Stacks
chef's
were painted
demise,
navy
there
gray.
is substantial evidence that the Mary was responsible for deaths of over 300 men. In October of 1942, the famed ship accidentally
were
collided
painted
with the
navy gray.
HMS Curaçao, a much smaller cruiser that was escorting her
One
around
rather
the Irish coast.
Stacks were painted navy gray.
Excuse me.
A
The
much
Curaçao
smaller-
was zigzagging in front of the Mary, hoping to throw off any potential missile attacks when the 82,000-ton ship mistakenly plowed into it, breaking it in
A
half.
much smaller.
Some of the crew died instantly, others drowned or succumbed to hypothermia in the freezing water.
1,000-ton
Yikes.
ship
The
mistakenly.
Mary never stopped to rescue them, as it
much
would have
smaller-
been compromised. It would have compromised the thousands of soldiers on board, and an estimated 329 men
ship
died
mistakenly-
as a result. The truth of what
much
happened
smaller-
was sealed until the war ended 3 years
Thousands of
later.
soldiers on board.
By then, Queen Mary had undergone a 10-month
1,000-ton
renovation
ship
that erased any remnants of military life. Paintings, fine china, and Art Deco furniture were returned to the cabins and dining
1,000-ton
rooms.
ship mistakenly
She was ready to
military life.
dazzle the rich,
Paintings,
famous, and
fine
powerful
china.
once again. But all the expensive
Furniture.
decor in the world couldn't bury what happened during the war.
1,000-ton ship mistakenly
Yikes.
military life.
Ah.
Once again.
The ship is reportedly haunted by over 100
furniture.
spirits.
1,000-ton
That's
ship mistakenly
that's
military
99
life.
way too many.
The
Yeah,
ship is
it's
reportedly
currently-
That's
haunted by
100.
over 100.
you got
That's
a couple.
that's 99 way too many, dude.
Yeah.
That's a lot of spirits.
military
The
life.
most infamous being the spirit of stateroom
The ship is reportedly
B340,
40.
where paranormal
furniture.
activity is so frequent and intense that some members of the crew refuse to go inside.
The military life.
So
Every-
wait, this thing never sunk?
No.
The ship is
No.
reportedly
No.
100.
No, it's actually the town of Long
furniture.
Branch. Long Beach, California, bought it.
So wait, this
to
thing
make it a tourist attraction, so people would come to
The
their
ship is
town
reportedly 100.
and do whatever they want. And make some
furniture.
money, I guess.
Well, I mean, of course it's gonna be a tourist attraction. Like
So wait, this thing
most haunted thing, people are gonna go after.
The
it.
ship
Like,
is reportedly 100.
everyone seems to have their own story about
some
who
money, I
haunts the
guess.
room. In 1948, third class passenger named
So wait, this
Walter J. Adamson
The ship is reportedly
mysteriously
100.
died there.
You
Is his ghost that
some money, I
haunts
guess.
this place, or was he killed by a ghost? Another theory
wait, this thing-
claimed staff
Adamson-
locked in.
The ship is reportedly 100.
Staff locked a man
Some
in
money, I
his
guess.
third class room after he murdered 2 women in 1960s. During
wait,
the night,
this
he
thing-
began beating on the
Adamson-
door,
ship is
screaming to the
reportedly
guard
100.
outside the room that
make
something
some
was in
money,
the
I
room
guess.
with him. When they opened the door in the morning, they found his bloody,
So wait, this
mangled
thing-
body.
Adamson-
He had been
The
ripped
ship
apart.
is reportedly 100.
What the
I
fuck?
guess. I don't believe that at all. Sorry. I don't buy that. Ghosts
wait,
are
this
ripping
thing-
people apart.
Adamson ripped
well,
Demons
I
are.
was about to say
Demons are, but you know
yeah.
what? Has there been any report of demonic activity? Everything I've read, it's all about maybe the one of the
Well, I mean,
engineers that died.
there is a
Adamson.
report, something that we'll talk about later.
Okay.
When the ship was tied in 1967, 3 third-class rooms. They're attacking the poor. 3 third-class rooms were combined to create a larger hotel room. B340. Not long after, guests began reporting odd things. One woman said she was woken up by the bed covers were ripped off of her in the middle of the night. She then saw a man looming over the end of her bed. Others heard phantom voices and complained that faucets turned on by themselves. The ship received so many negative reports throughout the 1970s that B340 was closed to the public for over 30 years. It was reopened as a haunted attraction in 2018, though the key comes with a fierce warning. Even the current captain is too scared to enter. Other haunted areas include the former first-class swimming pool, boiler room number 4, and the doorway where John Petter was tragically crushed during an emergency drill.
I could believe that one.
What, that he's haunting?
He's hell yeah, bro! I'd haunt the shit out of that fucking spot.
The swimming pool now is abandoned. They're actually what do you call that? Restructuring it right now.
Reconstructing it.
Yeah,
they're gonna try their best to make this appeasing for people to come. Like, it's a haunted location now. It's a haunted attraction, so they're gonna sit there and try their best to make it nice looking. Be like, come on, ooh.
Wait, so are they trying to? So are they trying to like having any plans for this ship to like set sail again?
No, it is permanently docked.
Yeah,
that's it. But you know what? We're going to get more about this when we come back from break, as we continue to talk about B340 and all these other ghosts. Like, we're going to talk what happened in the pool area and what happened in the furnace area. And, Eric, Mr. West, do you know apparently that there is a report on this ship about a portal to another dimension being opened? We're going to get into that after break. But please listen to our sponsors. We'll be right back.
Hey everybody, we're just letting you know that we have new merch in our store. Go to greenhourmediastore.myspreadshop.com, greenhourmedia.org, or the link in the bio for our first ever logo drop. The Cryptid Collection is here. Get your favorite cryptids such as Bigfoot, Mothman, Nessie, the Yeti, or the Jersey Devil on t-shirts, hats, or mugs. You can also get all of our podcast logos on various items as well. Remember, that's greenhourmediastore.myspreadshop.com, greenhourmedia.org, or the link in the bio. New episodes of Is This Real drop Sundays at 8. Question everything.
Hello, this is JC3 speaking. If you want to know more about Is This Real podcast and our parent company Green Hour Media, then visit greenhourmedia.org. You can find and follow all of our social media pages through our website. If you love our content, then you can support us by subscribing to our YouTube channel and our Patreon page. Remember, that is greenhourmedia.org.
And welcome back as we continue to talk about the Queen Mary Ghost Ship in the season 11 finale. And welcome back. All right, so we have a couple things to talk about. I previewed before. We're going to talk about the quote-unquote portals to other dimensions on the Queen Mary Ghost Ship.
That's some fucked up shit.
Dad has... What do you have, Dad?
I got a couple.
We have a couple
boiler
things to
room
talk
number
about.
4. I got hatch door number 13. To name a few, and I'll dig up a few more. But what I find interesting in all of this stuff is,
so we have a couple.
Most hauntings you really don't get that specific. But in this one, they're actually bringing out a little girl. There's a little that runs amok in boiler room 4. She's seen with her, with her little doll in her hand.
Actually,
she's sucking her
bringing
thumb.
out a little girl.
I've also seen the fact that
Right.
I've seen the one in when she or whoever there's a couple of children that are in the pool area, and there's actually little specific imprints of feet in water that are like left on the sides of the pool when there's no water in the ship. So that's like footprints made out of water. So that's wild. If in fact that really is. It's just that when there's children involved, it drives me nuts. It really does.
Well, nuts in a way of like you're scared, or
nuts in a way where I feel bad for them because do they really understand what's going on with them?
Nuts in a way of like you're. Well, I don't know. I mean, again,
I get where you're coming from. Like they're just wandering around thinking that like everything's normal. It's just like, oh, where's my mom? And you're just there, and you're just there like, you're dead, bitch. What the fuck? It's like, half their body discombobulated.
Why do you have to use the word bitch to describe a woman?
Nuts in a way of like you're
specific.
Sorry, I just completely called you out there. My bad.
Girl.
Yeah, that's an asshole thing to do. I'm sorry.
No, it's not. I guess I apologize to all the bitches out there in the world.
Yo, I'll be honest. I'm on the same website you are.
Fucking canceled yet. I swear to God.
Nuts in a way
you know
of,
what?
Like,
sorry, I just completely called
Fuck
you
it. Go out with a bang, right?
All right. So let's talk about these.
Talk to me about that.
So I'm just gonna give them a shout out because I think they're a very well
Fuck it. Go out with a bang, right?
sourced website. I know Eric's looking on it too. I go to whatculture.com. We're not sponsored by What Culture, but
never
Fuck
mind.
it.
I do like to give out sources and shout outs to these sources. I do want to talk about the portals to the other world because I think that's interesting
Nuts
topic.
in a way of like you're
Because
Fuck it. Go out with a bang, right?
do you believe in portals? Do you
Yes.
believe in portals as other dimensions?
Absolutely.
So
No
you
question.
believe that there's other dimensions other than
nuts in
the
a way of,
reality
like,
that
you're
we
never
have.
mind.
Fuck it. Go out with a
Without
bang, right?
question. Okay, Eric, do you believe in portals to different dimensions?
Yes,
Girl,
because
there's
we
a little-
have our physical realm,
Nuts
and
in a
then
way of,
we
like,
also
you're
have
never
a
mind. Fuck it,
spirit
go out with a
realm.
bang, right?
Because there is a spirit realm, there has to be a means to access that through any
Girl,
means
there's
of
a little-
a portal, gate, any type of.
Nuts in a way of like you're
Door.
never mind.
Fuck it. Go out with a bang, right?
I do believe in realms. I don't believe in like.
Girl. There's a little.
This is different. I don't believe in the
Nuts in a way
portal.
of,
Like,
like, you're
okay, you
never
can
mind.
Fuck
walk
it. Go out
through
with a
it.
bang, right?
Like our physical beings can't walk through a portal and be like, oh look, I'm on
Girl,
Earth
there's a
306. You know, I do believe
Nuts in a way
that
of,
there
like, you're
are different universes that,
Okay.
me and Anthony,
Girl. There's a
the
little.
Pope, to you guys, me and the Pope talked
Nuts
about
in a way
this
of, like, you're
about Marvel. Because they're kind of in that same realm in what they're doing right now in their
Girl,
movies.
There's a little. Okay.
There's different universes in Marvel, multi-universe, whatever, and
The multiverse.
the multiverse. And what Anthony explained to me, which makes sense, he goes, two universes can be
Multiverse.
the multiverse,
Multiverse.
literally the exact
And
same thing, but
Anthony
one
explained
little
to me,
detail in that universe,
which makes sense. He
is
goes,
different.
Two
And that's what makes it a different universe. Like you
Multiverse.
could have
The
walked up,
multiverse.
you could have woke up this
And
morning, do exactly what you did,
Anthony
both
explained to
exactly
me,
the same thing, and then when
which
you
makes
left your
sense. He
door,
goes,
you made a
two
left, and the other universe you made a right.
Multiverse.
And then
multi-
at that point,
And-
it's a different universe.
I not only believe in that,
Which
I
makes
believe
sense.
that that's
He goes,
exactly how it goes.
two universe.
Because I don't think anywhere out there you're going to
Multiverse.
have two
Multiverse.
exact universes that are going to mirror each other, because there's no point.
So do you think in another universe I'm skinny?
What I do
Goes,
believe is you're going to
two
have the
universe-
same ones are going to mirror each other,
And I'm fat
but
on the other one.
completely opposite of what you're doing. In other
Let's
words,
go.
kind of like looking in a mirror.
Goes, two
When you
uni-
look in the mirror, your right becomes your left becomes your right.
Oh, so you
So I believe you're looking into that dimension, and it's just the
so
opposite of you.
you think a mirror is a portal to a different dimension?
I believe that mirror.
You
Well,
think it's a
mirrors,
mirror to yourself?
That's something we haven't talked about on this podcast.
mirrors
Mirrors are fucking creepy.
Mirrors
I don't
are
like
very
mirrors.
dangerous.
I don't like mirrors.
Well, if you get in,
Same thing with cameras. I don't like cameras either.
yeah, if you get into a,
You went to school for
I don't
mirrors are
like
very
mirrors, though.
dangerous.
Doesn't
If
mean
you
I
get
like 'em.
mirrors,
We'll
if
talk
used the
about mirrors in
proper
a
way-
different
Yeah,
in a different
it can
time.
Be
I mean,
dangerous. It
let's
can
talk
be.
about Queen. Okay, so let's get into the
I
portals
don't
are
like
very
mirrors.
with
dangerous.
Queen Mary. So what culture has said right here is like, we know portals to other universe, other worlds, may sound straight out of an '80s horror movie, but we have multiple accounts of Queen Mary vortexes, small spots. On the ship that emit spectral energy. They are thought to be the spaces where the spirit world connects to the human world, where the ghosts come from back to our world. One of these vortexes is in the ship's boiler room, around where the remains of a worker named John Henry were once found. Alongside supposed apparitions of Henry, a spot has been felt around the boiler's entrance, adjacent to the ship's green room, where spiritual energy is highest.
Right.
Another of these vortexes is said to be in the pool's dressing boxes, alongside supposed one of the most untouched original areas of the Mary. A medium identified these boxes as being the center of spiritual energy on the ship, not what you want to not what you want to be feeling when you're getting changed. But that isn't the only meaning of the term vortex. Upon the Grey Ghost, Bill Sorter, The employee who spotted a ghost by the pool experienced what he described as being pulled back in time. Once, as he zoned out, waiting for a tour to pass through the ship, he was suddenly transported back to 1966 to the end of the Queen Mary's life of service. Once, as he zoned out, before he had been for a tour in the sunset of California, he was suddenly in the middle of winter with snow on the deck in New York. Life of service. Sort of describes feeling the depression surrounding the crew. The Mary was retired in '66, and the crew around him knew they were losing their jobs. With snow on the experience was over in a flash, and Soder found himself back in California, watching the last tour of the day, moving up to the ship to greet him. He has no explanation of the event, but swears it was true. That's creepy to me.
Very creepy. Time travel is creepy in its own, by itself. To me, anyway, time travel is very creepy because, if you could pick and choose where you want to go, you've altered time. Then your reality doesn't exist.
Well, I choose it.
Very creepy.
Again,
I don't think so. I don't think so. Only in the sense that just because you were appeared in that glimpse of a moment in whatever time you go to.
Okay, let me propose something.
It's not. You're not affecting anything because if it's over in a flash, like however this vortex works in concept of time. It's not. You're not going to affect anything whatsoever.
Right. Well, I was more or less about time
however
travel.
this vortex works in
if you could pick and choose time.
Oh, like butterfly, like the butterfly effect. Affecting anything because you're just
butterfly effect. Right. Well, I was go back and shoot your would-be dad. You're not.
Well, let's just put it like this.
You're dead.
I tend
affecting anything because you're just
right. Well, I was talking.
Marvel said
more or less
what I want to believe as far as time travel.
Or like if you.
That's not how I think it goes. I think if you turn around and think of time travel as something like this, where, yes, you're going back in the past, but not going back in the past. If you do that, if you do that, it is technically your future.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
So no, it is your present person's future. Like going back in the past, meaning it was something you were meant to do, meaning it's not changing anything in the past. It's like a cycling effect, like going
like the Terminator.
Back, yeah.
Well, that's fine, but I mean,
the Terminator. Hold on, the Terminator was they were going to go in the past to kill John
Connor. Connor survived, but John Connor survives in order to be the hero of the resistance, in order to send back himself or send someone back in time in order for that cycle to always repeat.
Yeah, they were going to go in
and the Terminators were just trying to kill him to stop that.
This is off topic, but let me ask you a question. I want to take a
time travel.
If you guys could go back in time, and you can pick and choose the time that you go back, you're obviously picking it for a reason. What would you change?
I would change that snort on air, man. Jesus Christ. See, that's a tough question.
For a reason.
Why? Because.
All right, so I'll ask you.
Well, I know, I know perfectly what I would do.
What would you do?
The greedy part of myself would buy a fuckload of Bitcoin.
Oh dear God.
Well, that's the thing though. Like when you want to sit there and talk about stuff like that.
The greedy part of myself would buy a.
I don't. Reason.
Best believe we wouldn't be in this podcast.
Well, that's the thing though.
Right now.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
That's a different
about stuff like
that.
The
greedy part of myself would buy a lot of Bitcoin. At this.
Well, we might be doing the podcast, but it might be not in this booth.
That's what I'm saying. Like that, I mean, like not the podcast.
Eric's like, I'm not doing this fucking podcast if I'm rich.
All right, so you would go back for a financial gain.
Well,
of course.
That's the thing, though.
What would you do?
I don't want to be that person, but I'm going to be.
The greedy part of myself would buy a.
You wouldn't go back?
No, the reason is because. Well, that's unfortunately. Or fortunately, whichever way you looked at it, and talk about things happen. I do believe things happen for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
And things happen to get me to where I am today, so I could sit there and move forward.
You wouldn't take advantage of it if you
know
could.
why? You know why? Because I'm not going to change.
Well,
that's the thing, though. Because I don't know what I'm changing. I could change things for the worse. You know why? Because not for the better. You don't know. But I'm not going to sit there and try to live 5 seconds more of something. You know why? Because I know I just have to go back and not live with it. I've gotten to the point where I can sit here and say like whatever, like I'm accepting of the things that have happened.
Experience of the first, not the first, every single time.
Well, that's the thing though. I've
go back.
You know why?
Shut
the fuck up. I've accepted the things that have happened. That's the thing, though. I've gained to the point where I know how I am today, and to relive something or know that I can't change to fix it. That's the thing, though. It would drive me even more insane. It would just piss me off even more. So to sit there and turn around and be like, well, I'm going to go in the back and change this. You don't know where you are or how fucked up you're going to. You could sit there and completely change something, and your life could be worse than it is now. Well, not worse than it is now, or different than it is now.
If you were going back in time, you would be going back with the knowledge you have now of what happened then. If you go back in time.
Worse than it is now, or...
And say I'll give you an example. Say I go back to November 22nd, 1963. But if I go back with the knowledge that I have now, I'm altering time.
You could sit there.
If I go back there and I'm just a bystander, am I altering time, or am I just being there at the time?
But at the same time, if you're going back there and you're not knowing,
no, you would still be altering the time because then you would have other witnesses to verify that you were there.
Worse than it is now.
No, that's very true. I mean, if I had to go back, I would go back.
They would pop your ass.
I would go back to 1960.
Try to say that you went back in time, Dad, and you were the gunman behind those?
No. If I could go back in time and I can alter history.
Stephen King wrote a book about that.
I would literally.
You would
if I know what I know now, I would stop the Kennedy assassination.
Well, I mean, you could say that about anything,
right? That would be my drug of choice.
Yeah, I would stop Kennedy. I would sit there and
you're mad greedy, like fuck that shit. I'm being rich.
I stop Kennedy. You could sit there and
I'll be Donald Trump, is what I'll be.
I don't know, man. You could sit there and do a lot. You could sit there, stop Kennedy.
I know Bitcoin. I've talked to Bitcoin. They're wonderful people.
You could. Are we done now?
Yes, we're done. Too good. It was too easy to do. Yeah.
You could change a lot of things in the past. Stop Kennedy from being shot. Stop Bobby Kennedy from being shot. Stop Martin Luther King from being shot. Like, there's a lot of things you sit there, but
you stop Kennedy, you stop JFK. Those other ones aren't getting shot. Because at that point, they've now got control.
All right, can we get back to the Mary?
Yeah, go. Let's get back to the portal or whatever the fuck.
Well, no, that's all the portals that were in there. I know we dilute into portals, time travel because of the portals. Mm-hmm. But there's some interesting things here also. Have you read anything about the isolation ward?
No, I have not.
The isolation ward is a pleasant area on any ship. You know, where the sick and dying are kept to live out their final days, and where prisoners are sometimes contained to atone for their crimes. Yeah, real lovely place. The Queen Mary's isolation ward saw its fair share of visitors over its decade of service, and it seems some never left. Visitors down there on tours and during explorations have felt presences and seen shadowy figures. Perhaps two out of the ordinary.
Nothing too ordinary.
Nothing too ordinary. Sorry, thank you, Eric. Nothing too ordinary. Given it's a haunted ship, but considering the disease and deaths that took place in the room, the experience was made even more creepy. If that wasn't bad, there was a placard upon the wall of the isolation ward detailing the names of those known to have died upon the ship, as well as the causes of their death. Upon it, you see that there are more passengers actually died on board than crew did.
Mm-hmm. Wonderful.
So that you have that. Let's see. We did the portals. We did the isolation ward. What do we have?
What next? Is this? The murders in room B47.
B474.
Yes.
One of the most chilling stories from the Queen Mary is the murder of the family inside room B474.
Oh my God.
For unknown reasons, their cold-blooded killer of a father strangled. The cold-blooded killer of a father strangled the mother and sisters, and then shot Dana in the room's bathroom. As if the family's brutal murder was enough, the ghost of the young girl Dana is said to be still around. It is mentioned that she sometimes joins John Henry and Grumpy. We haven't talked about Grumpy yet. And has been contacted in areas where they lurk as well. Of course, B474 is said to be rife with paranormal activity, most likely stemming from the awful events that occurred there. Dana is not a malicious ghost, though it seems. She seems pleasant. She is seen playing and occasionally heard calling out to her mother. So Dana,
So my man just said, "Fuck these people," and just bodied all of them.
I mean, look at that man's face. Look at him. Strangled the mother and the sister and shot the little girl. And he's like, "You're on video, Dad, remember."
Did they interfere in you watching the football game is what I want to know.
Evidence.
Wow.
Evidence.
Wow.
Evidence.
Such incrimination upon oneself. I've never seen such shit like this since a fucking gang music video.
This one's creepy. This one's just called The Tall Man, Dad.
Oh,
God.
nobody got that joke.
I did, yes.
Okay.
Presumably dating
I
back
guess
from the Queen
the
Mary's...
delivery sucked.
Presumably dating back to the Queen Mary's first voyages in the 1930s, comes a ghostly figure seen on many separate occasions. The man is tall with dark hair and is dressed in 1930 styles clothing. He has been spotted around the first class suites,
Of course, he's rich.
walking around only to disappear in the blink of an eye. He seems friendly though. Guests and staff have watched him smile at them as he continues on his journey. And smiling fucks you up.
That would be like, no. That's not happening.
The rooms around the first class suites are not
What
as
if the,
chipper
what if,
though.
what if the ghetto side of someone just comes out? The fuck you smiling about? Fuck
it
you
seems-
so happy for?
Inside the rooms, lights
You
turn on.
dead.
Inside the room, lights turn on and off in the middle of the night. Phones ring, only have nobody on the other end,
Of course.
and water begins running by itself.
Of course.
One of their stars, Ryan Bergara, even reported the faucet running on its own accord in his first stay in the Mary. As he entered the room, his toothpaste fell to the floor by an unseen force. So they pushing shit. They like a cat. They're pushing shit off the edge of the thing.
Fuck that.
Didn't Ghost Hunters go to this boat?
They did.
They
Yes.
did? I gotta find that video. I probably got it sitting upstairs, but...
Well, let's go to another ghost they have. His name is Grumpy. AKA
Grumpy!
Joe Kaola.
Was Grumpy a Jet fan?
Perhaps I spoke too soon. Grumpy is the most name affectionately given to an event experienced by multiple people around the ship, encountering the growling ghast. That's right, a ghoul that growls. Sounds strange, but there have been countless reports of snarling, growling, sounding in the ears of the visitors. It's kind of like something like this. Shit like that.
If you got somebody that's growling, either you got a ghost, a poltergeist that's acting like a dick, or you got some kind of demonic activity going on. But they're not everything I've heard, or it has nothing to do with
I don't know,
demonic.
dude. If you're sitting there saying there's portals on the ship, you don't know what the fuck those portals are coming
Yeah, but
from.
nothing's being
I mean, friendly
done.
smiling ghosts, though.
You don't see people levitating or deporting or whatever.
Mhm. Around the pools, a room under the stairs, in the boiler rooms, and down hallways. These are all the areas where Grumpy has been known to come out and play. Think about that.
So Grumpy plays.
Hold on. Well, plays, quote unquote. Think about this, though. Around the pools, we know that there's one of the portals around the pool. Because we said that for one of the
yes,
late.
I do remember.
A room under the stairs. What creeps around rooms under the stairs, Dad?
Harry Potter.
Shut up. No.
Ogres?
No.
Trolls?
Trolls?
No. What is by thinking about ghosts and demons?
Right.
Don't demons usually like to hang out in places
Are
like
you
that?
trying to reference the Amityville Horror by any chance?
Maybe.
Okay.
A portal, that could be another portal. Boiler rooms where nobody goes. Apparently in the boiler room there's a portal also.
Boiler rooms are fucking creepy no matter what because
Dude, our boiler room is fucking creepy.
you got
it's
a
like the
loud,
size of...
you got a giant room that's loud with these overwhelming and overpowering machines, and there's normally only one guy somewhere in that room.
That fucks me. Okay. People have never experienced any harm when coming into contact with him, whose identity is unknown. They don't know who this person is. But occasionally his grouchiness is accompanied by the smell of cigarette smoke.
Was Grumpy one of the seven doors?
Yes. Perhaps he's trying to scare people away. Perhaps he just has a smoker's cough.
Has anybody ever seen Grumpy?
Just a figure. They don't know what the face looks like.
Okay.
Do you want to take the swimming pool, Dad? Don't you have something in the swimming pool?
I don't. I can dig that up. But
Well, no, I'll take
Are
it.
you want to do that? Because I want to go to hatch door 13.
The first class swimming pool. Countless ghost stories have come from the first class swimming pool. Many claim to hear spectral voices. One supposedly coming from the little Jackie, a 5 or 6 year old girl who reported to have drowned in one of the ship's pools. One worker however, disputes the claim. Jesus Christ. According to the ship's logs, nobody has ever died in the first-class swimming pool. So then how does it explain the ghost he saw that fateful morning? While inspecting the area before a tour, historical consultant aboard the Queen Mary, Bill Sauter, watched a woman walk down the stairs. The stairs, made from ceramic, made a lot of noise when used, but the woman descended them silently with eyes fixed downwards. She was young, in her early 20s, wearing outdated fashion from the 1960s. Sauter saw her in plain view, but as she walked behind the pillar to greet him, she had disappeared without a trace. The young lady was also not a malevolent spirit, as Sauter felt no fear or unease, but her disappearance made him believe she was a ghost. It seems the ship has a couple of ghosts that cause no harm. And the last one I have on this list right now is the Lady in White. We know a lot of Lady in White stories. La Llorona.
There you go.
There we go.
I said that. I'm not gonna try that. That is one of the horrible.
La Llorona.
I can't say that.
Let's get this list started. Okay. The Lady in White, or White Lady, not a Karen, is an apparition reported by many. And there's even a photograph, which may deem to be her evidence of her existence.
Oh, no.
Once the Queen Mary was a luxury liner that sailed between New York and Southampton. It's suspected the Lady in White is one of the passengers from the time. She is often spotted around the Queen's Salon, a first-class lounge aboard the ship, wearing a long white evening gown. She's unmissable and one of the most well-known ghouls from the ship. The White Lady dances to unheard music and looms ever-present at the end of the lounge and its surrounding corridors. While not malicious, she is a well-reported spirit who has been appearing before guests for over half a century. So please go to yours, Dad, and then we'll take a break.
There's a lot of crazy photos, man. Holy shit. Anyway, I'm going to bring up something that happened in a place called Hatch Door 13. This hatch door is known as Shaft Alley, and it was the site of a gruesome accident that saw a crew member get crushed.
Alley.
One night in 1966, the watertight doors in the engine and boiler rooms were ordered to be closed. About 5 minutes later, an 18-year-old crew member from Yorkshire, England, was found crushed in the door of hatch number 13, trapped with his arms pinned to his side. Although the man was freed and carried to the hospital ward, it was way too late. He showed signs of crushing injuries to his arms, chest, and pelvis, and was bleeding from his nose. He was injected with morphine, but it was too late, and he later passed away.
I love how they just like inject people with drugs just for anything. It's just like,
well,
you feeling bad? Morphine.
His ghost is regularly seen around the area now, with people reporting the sound of someone running behind them and whistling. These fucking ghosts are always whistling. They were whistling at the lighthouse. They're whistling here. Right.
Fuck that.
Others have possibly made contact with the doomed crewmen, noticing spots of grease that look like fingerprints on their faces. Some have seen a figure of a bearded man in blue coveralls that looks like the man who died out of the corner of their eye. And several others have said they saw an engineer wandering the hallways, asking if guests had seen his wrench. But when they went back to find him, he had disappeared.
Have you seen my wrench?
Hey,
That's pretty fucking creepy right there.
I would be like, what size, bro? like what you looking for? 7/16?
Is that done in inches or is that done in millimeters?
7/16? You want millimeter? What do you want, bro?
What do you want, my guy? Is that all you have, then?
That's all I got here. I mean, there's more.
System.
If you want more, I can dig up more.
I think we covered a lot of these ghosts on the ship so far, don't you think, Mr. West?
I think so.
It's crazy to think that something like all of these reports that are going on,
and it's not just one person. It's multiple reports,
right,
by many different people at many different times.
And again, there's been a lot of death on this ship. And there have been
teams that went out here and checked this stuff out too.
Oh, many teams, many teams. But we're gonna take another short little break, and then we're gonna come back and end this episode as we continue our season finale. Jesus. My whole thing with this, though, is the portals is what gets me. And we'll talk a little bit more about the portals and the potentials of these portals when we come back from break. everybody, I'm JC3.
And I'm Mr. West.
And this episode is brought to you by Dubby. Made by professionals in the USA, Dubby was formulated to give you focus and energy with no jitters or crash. Their formula contains vitamins, amino acids, including the patented neurofactor. You know what Dubby doesn't give you?
What is that?
No calories, no sugars, no fillers, and no artificial flavors. When the raw ingredients arrive to their FDA-registered and inspected facility that strictly adheres to GMP guidelines, they undergo a quarantine while a small sample of each ingredient is taken to test for any impurities, while also being tested to ensure that the ingredients are actually what they are supposed to be and have the proper dosage.
And once the ingredients pass all the tests, then they're cleared to get mixed into the formula. So head on over to dubby.gg and use our offer code IsThisRealPC for 10% off your first order. That's DUBBY.GG and use the code IsThisRealPC for 10% off. They have great flavors such as Galaxy Grenade, Dub Sludge, Passion Joy Tea, Monkey Madness, and Dragonade. My personal favorites.
Dragonade right here. I got Dragonade right here. Delicious.
Drink Dubby
and be better.
These products are not intended to diagnose, cure, or prevent any disease.
If you liked this video today, please click the like and subscribe button and make sure to hit the notification icon to keep up with all our videos. Please click the like and sure to hit the notification all our videos.
Now. The best way to welcome. Who wants better sex? Start.
Adam and Eve is offering 50% off just any.
Who wants better
item.
sex? Start. When you select your one item, you will also get 3 bonus. But that's not all. That includes when you gift for him, a special gift for her, and a gift not all. Both like. When you
plus 6 free
and a gift you'll both like.
Plus for your viewing pleasure and free shipping.
There is discreet shipping as your privacy is priority. Plus 100% there is discreet shipping as your privacy is priority.
How much you spend
plus
or
discreet
what you buy,
shipping as your privacy is priority.
How much you spend.
Don't wait. Better
shipping
sex is just one click away. Privacy is priority.
How much you spend.
Better sex is just one click away. Your privacy is priority.
How much you spend and free shipping.
Bring more pleasure and satisfaction to your bedroom.
Just go to adamandeve.com and select any one item. It could be an adventurous new toy, you spend, or anything you desire.
Just enter code
it could be an adventurous new
question
toy
at checkout.
Anything you desire. Question. QU. It could be an adventurous new toy or anything you desire. adamandeve.com.
This exclusive offer is specific to this podcast only. So be sure at checkout you punch in the code question. That's QUESTION at checkout. And get your 50% off one item, 10 free gifts, and free shipping. Remember, use code question. And also remember to listen to Is This Real every Sunday at 8 o'clock with new episodes starting July 16th. Also remember everybody, is this question everything, and put that question at the end of your checkout. Also that question at the end of your checkout. Also adamandeve.com. That question at the end. And welcome back as we continue that question at the end. Our season finale, which is the Queen Mary Ghost Ship season 11 finale, guys. Our episode today is brought to you by Dubby. That question. Go to dubby.gg, punch the code IsThisRealPC to get all your Dubby products. Dubby.gg, punch the code 10% off to get all your with our code IsThisRealPC, all one word. As we love Dubby in this booth.
I love Dubby.
We love Dubby.
I love Dubby.
Our code is this real PC, Dubby all right one word. This soda that doesn't pay us any money. I'm not going to tell you what the soda is.
I dance.
Our code is this real PC. All right. So as we continue with this in this booth with Queen Mary, with all the stuff that we've talked about tonight, with the history that the Queen Mary has.
Yes.
The question is proposed, Mary, with all the stuff that Queen Mary is actually haunted, or our code is this? Are these just occurrences that might happen? We'll start off with you, with all the stuff.
I do believe it's haunted. I do believe there's proof. There has been video. There has been stuff that has happened. Yes, I do believe that. Is it all true? Don't know. Portals. I do believe in portals. Has anybody proven it yet? I haven't seen any evidence of that. Is it all true? But as far as being haunted, with all the deaths, and not so much the deaths, these are murders, people being crushed. people gone
true?
mad.
Our code
You know,
is
I
this
do
real
believe, yes, there with all the negative stuff that has
piece.
happened,
Might happen.
it has garnered some kind of spiritual. And to be honest with you, I remember seeing, I do
Our
believe it
code
was
is this
a
real piece.
Ghost Hunters now where he was in the room
Might happen.
and something happened where the nightstand, the
Our code is this
the
real piece.
light on the nightstand moved over time.
And I
Yeah.
also think in the same episode, if I believe it's
Our
it's
code
the
is this
Queen
real-
Mary episode.
Ghost Hunters now where he was.
During the middle of the night, the sheets were pulled off somebody's bed.
Yeah, they were.
That's
they were.
that's not. I
Yeah.
I hate when shit
Our
like that
code
happens.
is this
Yeah,
real piece.
that's-
Oh, you don't like that particular instance?
Nah, because it's just like
Yeah,
the
they
sheets
were.
were all
They
I
were.
had to defend myself. It's just like
Our
I'm
code is
fucked,
this
bro.
real piece.
Like I'm literally naked right now. Like you got me. You
Don't
got
fuck
me,
with-
bro.
deer in a
Fuck with my
headlight,
sleep
bro.
pattern.
It's just like now.
All right, Wes,
code
do you
is this
believe
real
the
piece.
Queen Mary is haunted?
Given off everything that I've heard for
Yeah,
tonight,
they were.
I
They
was
were.
I want to say yes.
Our code is this
Yes.
real piece.
Okay. Yes.
I'm-
Yes. from
I
Wes.
I am convinced.
I just
they
want to
were.
point out
They
how
were.
a lot of people, when I call you Wes,
Our
They
code is this
say
real piece.
Wes, WES, and not the T. I'm like, do I not say
they
the
were.
T
They
when I
were.
say West?
I don't know.
It's like, tell
They-
Wes.
Our code
Like,
is
what are
this
you
real
talking about?
piece.
Like Wes Craven?
Um,
Like Wesley Walker? Like, who the fuck are you talking about?
Wesley Snipes.
Yeah, they were.
Wesley
They
Snipes?
were.
But, yeah, so,
Our
so
code
hey,
is
hey,
this
you
real
know what?
piece.
Mr. West over here believes it's
Wesley
haunted.
Snipes.
That's Wesley.
I do.
That's
That's good.
I
That's
do.
good.
I do.
I
code is
do
this
believe
real
it's
piece.
haunted also, and I do
Um,
believe in portals. I honestly
Talking
do,
about Wesley
especially in this.
Snipes. Oh, that was
Wesley-
part of the question too.
Well, no, I'm just saying because
Oh.
Dad was talking about portals
Our code
before.
is this real piece.
I believe that there are portals
Talking about
because
Wesley Snipes.
somehow, some way, these spirits, energies, they do have to enter our realm at some points.
That's where you and I differ.
Wesley
but
Snipes.
that's-
Wesley, well, think about this. We've heard it from mediums. We've heard it from who are the? I believe it's still mediums that use the
Wesley Snipes.
dowling
Wesley-
rods, where they have
Divining rod.
yeah, where they sit there and those rods are meant to. Well, I mean, in the real world,
Wesley Snipes.
what are they meant to find water? Isn't it or something
Grandpa
like that?
Monster found water. Yes.
Yeah.
He
But they find
word,
energy,
Wesley
and when
Snipes.
those energies, if there's a buildup of energy, and you read it on the rods, and you read it on the EMF area,
Wesley Snipes.
if it's a high buildup of energy, then what do you like? What do you consist what that is? You know, what is that
Wesley
particular
Snipes.
Wesley? Just buildup of energy. If it's more, like, if it's more of a consistency of a ghost, like I know there's levels
Wesley
of what a
Snipes.
ghost energy reads compared to something else, but when it's something as high as they're saying it is, it has to be something else.
Wesley Snipes.
That's just my thing right there. That's what fucks me up. But with all these other quote unquote experiences that these people have, and
Wesley Snipes.
Wesley, almost 100 years of shit that has happened on this ship, and it's still floating. It's definitely haunted.
Wesley.
I don't
we
care
have,
if
so
anybody
we have
tells
a,
me.
so we have a unanimous decision of haunted.
Yes, haunted by Is This Real? We have determined, without ever being there, without ever
Wesley
being. Well,
Snipes.
have you ever been in the state of California?
Not yet.
Without ever being in the state of California near this ship, Is This Real has determined haunted.
Wesley Snipes.
Wesley,
Yeah.
so shall it be said, so shall it be done.
Council.
Cancel. You can't do the cancel, Dad. But he did it correctly though.
He did. Shout out Wesley to you. Snipes.
So as we
As we
end,
proceed.
with what you need, as we end this episode and this
Wesley
season,
Snipes.
season 11, we closed the book on season 11, the season of Ghosts and Aliens, which I thought was a good season.
It was okay.
Wesley-
It
You weren't expecting Ghosts and Aliens. You were expecting something different, weren't you?
I see ghosts and aliens to me, especially now where the alien part. It really is picked up for me in the last maybe last 9 months of watching and learning more and more. I never really was an alien guy,
Wesley Snipes.
Wesley.
but watching stuff like when I watch The Secret Skinwalker Ranch really sparked my interest, and some of the stuff that's going on in it, it's really not explainable.
Wesley Snipes.
That really piqued my interest. Ghosts, I've always had a fascination with ghosts and stuff like that, demons and
Wesley Snipes.
wacky shit. But
wacky shit.
to me, I need like there was once a famous man in our family who used to say, "I need a little horror in my horror movie."
Wesley Snipes.
So that would be exactly what this season was for me. It wasn't as much as I thought it was going to be. It is what it is.
All right, Wes, how'd you feel about this season?
It wasn't bad. I liked it. And to add to Dad's point, I actually come from aliens, by the way. So, you know.
You're definitely not from this
Oh,
fucking
dear
planet.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, please, stop.
I'm talking about my parents.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
In the
Listen,
words of Anthony,
they
where'd
need
you
to change that?
In the words,
aliens are not people from other countries. I'm sorry.
in the words of Anthony, are you from Bleeplork?
Because I'll be honest with you. I'll be honest. If aliens are, they want to classify aliens as somebody coming into the country from another country, whether they're legal or illegal. An alien that lands a spaceship on the middle of the mall in Washington is the ultimate illegal alien.
That's an extraterrestrial.
Yeah, there you go.
The aliens
right,
we're talking about are terrestrial aliens.
See, it's the same difference that a lot of people say aliens as illegal aliens, stuff like that. Not aliens, just like if you want to talk about Native American people, they're not Indians. All right? There's no such thing.
What is this, the woke hour? I mean, come on.
There's no such thing as an Indian. You know what an Indian is? No!
No?
Some guy over in India. There's no such thing as an Indian. You know that's where Indians come from.
Who the fuck is knocking?
I don't know. Probably death. Some
What
guy
was it, like,
over
how
in
many
India. There's no such
Again?
thing as an... No, you know why we called them Indians? Because if Christopher fucking Columbus thought he set sail to the West
That's
Indies.
not true either.
Some
Because
guy
he called
over in
Spain
India.
Spanish.
Uh-huh.
And he calls the people from Cuba Spanish.
Cubans.
Hispanic.
Cuba
That's
is part
not
of
true either, because you
the
call
Hispanic
people from
region.
Spain Spanish.
Not Spanish.
But they
Uh-huh.
speak
Call them
Spanish.
Spanish.
From Cuba Spanish.
Cubans.
Speak
Cuban.
Hispanic.
No, they speak Spanish.
They speak
Sail to
Cuban.
Don't get
That's
around
not
that.
true
So
either.
Mexicans
They
speak
speak
Mexican?
Spanish.
Yes.
No.
Get the
Uh-huh.
He calls the people from
Spaniards.
Cuba
They
Spanish.
speak Spanish.
Cuban.
They speak Spanish with
No.
a Cuban.
So you're
with a
telling me...
Cuban.
Hold on.
Let me ask you
You're
this.
oh, hold on,
The
hold
guy
on.
from Ecuador,
They
he can't have a conversation with a guy from Mexico?
They speak Spanish from a Cuban perspective,
No.
where they add their own dialect.
They got their own dialect. I
their
get
own
it.
slang to it.
So you're
It's
telling
still-
me that's-
it's still
Mexico?
Spanish.
Puerto
It is-
Rican and Dominican languages are the same thing.
It is literally Spanish, just spoken with different cultures. That's
I
it.
was saying, the guy from
They speak
Mexico?
Spanish.
Puerto
It is
Rican and
You
Dominican.
could say the same thing about Spanish and Italian.
just spoken. It's a completely. They're with- both completely different. Like where did
They're
this
both
go?
Latin languages.
They're both
I was
Latin
saying, the guy
languages,
from
yes,
Mexico?
but like
Puerto
it is
Rican and Dominican.
Spanish.
Now,
Spanish.
German's not a Latin language.
Spanish.
Just spoken
Spanish.
German's an angry language.
And Italian is.
Well, I don't know.
It's
I
a
was saying, the
Latin.
guy from
It's
Mexico?
it's a
Puerto
Latin
Rican and
language, but
Dominican.
you don't hear. There aren't people in Dominican Republic
Just
speaking
spoken
Italian claiming that it's Spanish.
I was saying, the guy from
They- with that-
Mexico?
just
Puerto
with
Rican
that,
and
that's-
Dominican.
You don't hear.
I just have to say that.
there
That's
aren't-
like
just
That's so
spoken
true.
with.
But they have similar words.
That
I
doesn't
was
mean that
saying,
they're
the
the
guy
same
from
language.
Mexico?
It's
Puerto
Well,
just-
Rican and
similar words.
Dominican.
I can. The only thing I can.
There aren't.
They are similar Italian.
Now
Spoken
somebody's
in
speaking
Spanish.
Latin. Run.
If you count in Spanish, it's
That doesn't
uno,
mean
dos,
that
tres.
Spanish-
The guy from
they
Mexico?
speak
If you
Spanish.
Puerto
count
Rican and Dominican.
in Italian, it's
The only
uno,
thing I
dos,
can-
tres. So it's close.
So you're telling me the
Spoken
Spanish actually complete the words, the Italians don't.
That doesn't mean
Unos,
that-
dos,
You can't
tres.
Puerto
Puerto
Rican
Rican
and
and Dominican.
The only
And
thing I
they,
can-
una, dos,
So
tres.
it's close.
So that's
So
what
you
you're saying.
Spoken.
With
Where the
Cuatro-
fuck are we getting here? Like,
Cuatro,
un, dos,
cinco,
trois, un, dos,
seis.
trois.
If you count
Puerto
Rican and
Sette
Dominican.
over nove dieci.
so the
So,
Italians
yeah,
just
so
translate
that was
it.
Italian. In
Where the-
Spanish, it'd be uno, dos, tres, cuatro, cinco,
That
seis.
doesn't mean
Un,
un,
dos,
dos,
siete,
trois.
ocho, nueve,
So
diez.
Puerto
It's
Rican
white,
and Dominican. That's such a white.
I speak Spanish like a white guy.
Oh yeah, to me. Oh yeah, to me.
I'm
Yes, he
still
speaks
working on
Japanese.
cojones.
Oh yeah,
Puerto
to
Rican
me.
and
Good
Dominican.
night,
No,
everybody.
no. So next season, gentlemen, which I think is
Where
going
the-
to be an
Where the
interesting
fuck did
season.
we go with this shit?
I don't know. I don't know.
Conies.
Oh, yeah,
Next
Puerto
season,
Rican
we're
Dominican.
talking about cults and prophecies.
My people.
They go what?
Huh?
They go
Okay.
hand in hand, and it's going to be an interesting season because this is something, especially with prophecies. You could
They
say,
go-
is it
I would
true?
be- I would be a
We're
cult
talking. Has these things come true? So are they prophets?
Can you really
Especially
fold a
with
$20 bill
prophecies.
together
You
and
could-
see the tower?
We're talking.
The Twin Towers on fire? I mean, seriously, come on now.
You can.
I know you can. It's pretty fucking weird, ain't it?
That's it. It's pretty nuts.
It's crazy
Especially
shit.
prophecies. You could.
That's-
we're
that
talking
is-
about
Is there really
for season 12.
is there really an owl on the corner of a dollar bill?
There is. I don't think I did this. Oh, this is bringing back so many memories right now. I did this in St. Gerard's.
Profits?
I took
And then he took the dollar from you.
I took the dollar bill out.
We're talking,
and I got a magnifying glass, and I looked at the corner, and there is an owl there. I'm saying that from first fucking hand experience, staring at this dollar.
Well, to be honest with you, the next time I have a dollar bill,
it's
a married guy. I don't know what they look like these days. Oh wait, I might have one on me.
I don't have a dollar bill on me right now.
I have a dollar bill on me.
You have a dollar bill on you?
I did this in.
Do you have a magnifying glass?
And I look.
You have my phone.
It is fucking. It's the truth. There is an owl on there.
I did this.
Let's do it, and then we'll.
Do you have a
give the results at the beginning of next summer?
That's such an asshole thing to do.
Where is it?
Hold on.
Is
Let me
fucking.
I'll give the dollar back. Do you have a
Follow his ass around, Eric.
That's such
I want to know what part of the dollar it's on.
It is. It's supposed to be, I believe, the top right corner.
the
But
dollar.
why are we doing this on air when?
I've done.
Do you have a
I don't know. Let's go.
But yeah. So next season we're doing prophets.
It is.
Prophecies and
on air
cults.
I've
So
done-
please,
you have a
any of our social media, you guys know by this time if you've been listening to us, and if you're new here, our social media is basically all start with Is This Real PC, all one word. Our Instagram is This Real Podcast. TikTok, we have most of our followers. We do a lot of stuff on TikTok. And please, we're building up our YouTube. We have over 300 subscribers on YouTube, and we're building day by day.
Day by day.
So please subscribe to our YouTube page. You hear us over Buzzsprout, and you hear us on TikTok. Go to YouTube. YouTube is building. You can see our podcast episodes if you go to YouTube. So anybody who's out there, Eric, say it in Spanish for me. Anybody who's out there,
Cualquier gente que están allá afuera,
go to YouTube
vete a YouTube.
and subscribe.
Yes.
You didn't? Okay. Can you say it in Japanese?
Yeah.
So please, thank you guys again for another great season. Everyone say, the guys say goodnight.
Yatsumi.
Dad, say goodnight, Big Joe. Come on.
Good night, Big Joe. Come on.
Okay. We'll catch you guys next season for season 12. Good night, everybody. Remember, everybody.
That's don't say in Italian.
It's here. I found it.
Question
It's up here.
everything. Good night.
That's don't say in Italian.
I found it.
Everything. Good night.
That's don't say in Italian.
I found it.
Everything. Good night.